Today, last year's runners-up Melbourne against the Tiger Tamers Fitzroy in the second quarter-final of the Panasonic Cup, live from VFL Park. The youngsters of Melbourne surprised many when they overcame the Sydney Swans in Game 2 of the series. Today, the Demons are sticking with their youngsters, basically the same group who made light of the club's early season injuries. Fitzroy also pulled off a surprise by eliminating Richmond in Game 3. The Lions looked impressive with Darren Kapler and Paul Roos leading the way. Impeccable timing. Good afternoon. Welcome to the second quarter final in the Panasonic Cup competition. Melbourne against Fitzroy from VFL Park. Set to go. Mike Tyson must be a Fitzroy supporter. Beautiful day. Bright, sunny. Hardly any breeze. The winner to play the West Coast Eagles, who won that thriller last night. Eichhold out of the centre, down towards half forward. This is Bailey. Bailey for Melbourne. Out to stretch. Darren Bennett is on the forward line. That kick carries him, and going back, the mark is taken by Stevens. That's Bennett, number 19, from the West Coast Eagles, taken in the draft by Melbourne after being dogged by injury in the West. This is Stevens, who won the goal kicking for East Perth in the WAFL. Around the outer side, Steins. Take that.
Very aggressive Mick Conlon.
Jim Steins back towards half forward with a kick. Players into the air. Spalding couldn't take the mark. Slapped out of there by Viney. Foot race. Blakey picks it up. Plenty of time. He's on right centre wing. Kicks it down towards right half forward.
Blakey's kick down towards Turner. Now a chance for Osborne. And now Little Wind gets boot to ball quickly. Up close to the square. Roos attempts the screamer off the ground. Lyon. Well, should be able to kick it from there, or was it touched off the boot? One behind. So a golden opportunity missed by Lyon. Only a few metres out. Don, a little bit slow?
No, I thought that was a fantastic smother there by Sean White. He's got tremendous recovery.
Ball back into play towards the member stand side. Edwards attempts the screamer over Jay Viney. Couldn't quite drag it down. Play on call from the umpire. So Fitzroy go forward through a chain of hand passes, on the end of which is Conlon. And again, he's well off target. It's out of bounds or behind. It's the latter. And so two useful opportunities squandered by Fitzroy. And so the Lions 2 points on the board. Little wind advantage here today. Matt Rendell starting on the bench, as he did in the Lions' previous game against Richmond. And they displayed some pretty good form there too. Blakey again turns on a threepenny bit close to the boundary line. Centering kick from the flanker. Should be a good day for the high flyers. Went through the legs of Turner down there. Wind grabbed. Was it too high? Yes, says the umpire, and he'll take the free kick right on 50.
Here's Wind.
The only wind on the ground.
Blowing hard. A little indecisive. Going for distance now. They'll contest on the kickoff line. Melbourne have got the numbers, but the mark is taken by Richard Osborne. 3 Melbourne players. Osborne took the mark.
Richard Osborne, a very, very good player. Unpredictable in what he does. Sometimes undisciplined, but nonetheless very talented.
Good start by Fitzroy.
And ruck roving this year, Richard, or in the 2 games that he has played, and we might see a new Richard Osborne. We've watched this on replay. Just the sit there. Johnson in right position in front, but Steins just getting caught a little bit away from Osborne, attempting to punch the ball, but just better judgment by Richard Osborne on that occasion.
Second quarter final in the Panasonic Cup. There's the Melbourne bench. Dean Chiron in the foreground. Dennis Committee, Peter Landy and Don Scott at VFL Park, along with Dixie Marshall and Michael Roberts on the boundary. Steins gets it down. Healy the hand pass out. Eichhold going nowhere. Back comes Healy. Clever hand pass to Grinter. Grinter towards half forward. Fitzroy have got the ball in front of them. This is Blakey. Back to the man who knocked it down to him, Lynch. Out it comes to Armstrong. Gale goes over the top with a hand pass. Roderick is in there, pushed off the ball. Healy gets the hand pass out to White. Melbourne work it forward. Viney confronted by Lynch. Osborne on centre wing. Graham Osborne, great mark taken by Lyon. Well, almost, it's spilt. Richard Osborne picks it up as centering kick. Wind in best position, up he goes, juggles it, takes the mark.
Oh, good position too. Conlon on the move, inside 50, centering kick, unselfish, Roos 10 metres out marks.
Well, the defence of Melbourne in disarray then. They're a little bit lax, and they had players running everywhere. Fitzroy and Conlon had an easy opportunity and shot it across to Roos.
Lovely kick by Wynn too. Let's look at this kick. It's a goal. Fitzroy second. Paul Roos bringing up Fitzroy's second goal. And in case you're wondering, the black armbands of Fitzroy today are being worn by the club for brother Crispin, who died last week. He was a Maris brother of something like 50 years and a long-time Fitzroy supporter. Johnson takes position. Centre wing right, up towards half forward. Melbourne's only second foray into attack so far. That could have almost been construed as a throw. Picked up ultimately by Eishold. Stevens working overtime, tries to get it down to Struper. And the Lions will be content to see it over the boundary line. Surely Austin will be pleased with their start so far. Boundary throw in. Right forward pocket for Melbourne beneath the main scoreboard. Number 19 is Bennett. Interesting to see how he goes. Let's hope that he can maintain fitness for Melbourne. Taps it over the back to Healy. Lynch making good use of the body. Now a chance for Newport as he scragged high, arguably. Off the ground from Osborne. That's Richard Osborne, and the ball again over the boundary line in front of Struper. Once again, we'll see a boundary throw in. John Northey, of course, lost David Williams during the week for the season. He'll be pretty sad about that, as would all Melbourne supporters, because a very elusive player on the forward line. He has to undergo a knee reconstruction after an injury at training. So very bad luck. Ball just beating stretch over the boundary line. But Fitzroy working it around the boundary. It's now at half forward. That's the view from the members' box through the glass. Melbourne yet to score. Spalding contesting, gets the front position. And Melbourne working it towards the boundary line again. And eludes Struper. We'll see another boundary throw in. It's back in the forward pocket.
Fitzroy by 14 points. McGrath and Spalding now will do the ruck work. McGrath in front. Rendell starting on the bench again. Lynch over the top, only as far as Healy. He pulls it back well wide of the mark, out of bounds on the full. And Stevens will take the resultant free kick. The crowd is building up now. Not a big one, but obviously some counter attractions today. Not the least of which was the heavyweight fight. Stevens from the back pocket sends play towards the outer side. Big pack into the air. It falls forward. Eishold the hand pass to no one in particular. Brockhurst off the ground. Kapler pushes it across the boundary line, and it will be thrown in once more. Eishold starting in the centre. McGrath, who's rucked well so far in the series. One down by Struper that time. It's going to be a free kick to one of the ruckmen. Spalding will get it. Bill Spalding down towards full forward. Up goes Bennett, almost a strong mark. It's going to be paid.
Well, it was very reminiscent of when he made his debut for the West Coast. With he and Laurie Keane up on that forward line, it was something to look at. Here it is, Bennett, and can't he get up? And when you had Keane down there alongside him, they had that two-pronged attack, and they were very dangerous. Let's hope he can recover some of that form that he showed earlier on.
May have been a free kick for over the shoulder, that one. Bennett has missed to the right-hand side. Now he can kick a long way and normally is very accurate. Not so that time. Obviously just a touch of nerves. Melbourne get their first score and they trail by 13 points now. And Struper will kick it back into play. Socks down. Comes to the members' side as the players fan out from half-back, and Kapler was best on ground, and Fitzroy's victory against Richmond takes the mark at half-back towards centre wing with the kick. Lovett knocking away. Osborne trying to knock it on. It's out of bounds.
And second best on the ground that night, I think, was the man on the screen there, Richard Osborne. Played a very good game. Kicked a few goals. He was very elusive up forward, especially. Reproduction of that form this afternoon. We'll probably see him close to honours again. Melbourne depending a lot on their small men this afternoon. Newport's kick is well smothered. And the throw-in will take place right in the middle of the interchange area on centre wing. 13 minutes left in the opening term. Clear blue skies at VFL Park. Delightful day for football, albeit perhaps a little bit warm. Stein's a little bit slow to get rid of the ball. Finally, it's Newport. His kick is ill-directed, though. Blakey runs into trouble. Did well to get rid of it. Did he step over the line?
No, dropping the ball, the umpire deemed.
So the free kick is going to Bailey. Down towards left half forward flank. Keogh snared well. That was a beautiful tackle by Blakey. Now that was out of bounds, surely. And it'll be thrown in about 65 metres around from the Melbourne scoring area. Hats, sunglasses and suntan cream, the order today. It's not a hot day. It'll be hotter tomorrow in Melbourne. McGrath and Spalding. McGrath getting the front position. Gale close to the boundary. Keogh, good tackle. Ball spills loose. Dropped it, says the umpire. Gale arguably unlucky, but a good tackle nonetheless.
Umpire's lost his boot.
Well, with all the talking they're doing, many viewers would perhaps suggest he put it in his mouth, Dennis.
That would be unkind.
So Keogh with the kick.
Hang on.
He's still doing up his boot.
And it's interesting, Richard Osborne has gone off the ball and he's going straight to full forward with Stephen Newport at full back, releasing Paul Roos, who's now playing at the centre half forward position, and Danny Hughes is his man in centre half back.
Umpires do it with class even when they put a boot on, don't they?
Well, Peter Carey got his act into order ultimately. And let's see if Fitzroy can do the same thing. That was 31 Strooper getting boot to ball. Not too much distance in it. Edwards went through with purpose, one could suggest. Brian Waitman will remember a clash with him. Edwards has come out of it with a free kick. Certainly has a bit of a dip. Short of right centre wing. Short pass from Edwards. Very badly directed. And the mark is taken by Jay Viney. Gets it out to Danny Hughes. Hughes long. It's the best way to attack VFL Park. Big pack of players down there. Bailey on the end of it. Chance for Fitzroy to pick the ball up through the agency of Brockhurst, which he does. Short pass effective. Edwards the recipient at right half back.
Edwards from Perth plays on out of bounds, scrambles a kick towards centre wing. Blakey with courage over the ball. Hope he's not penalised. He was going after that ball, the only one who was. He's not, and there's going to be a ball up. The Lions. Could this be their season? Bounce on centre wing. Steins. Can never work him out, Scotty. You can laugh.
The umpire, McGrath jumped into Steins, and they're unbelievable.
McGrath from centre wing towards half forward, knocked down by Grinter, close to the boundary line. Lyon can't keep it in play, and it will be thrown in once more. Gary Lyon missing this afternoon, a star in Melbourne's first victory over Sydney. Ross Lyon is out there for Fitzroy. Boundary throw in, right half forward for the Lions, who lead with that time remaining, and their margin is 13 points. Edwards in front. Steins interferes with him. Edwards to get the free kick. Healy, Armstrong and Blakey forming a human chain. Here's Edwards going down towards full forward with a kick. White goes back. There was interference, and there's going to be a free kick behind the man in front, and will be taken by Newport. So Newport about 30 metres out from his own defensive goal with this ball. Plays on. Sends play towards the middle into a nest of Fitzroy players. They made a mess of it. McGrath scrambles a kick out of there. Kapler goes in. Nondescript football. Steins picks it up eventually and boots towards half forward. Almost the clever mark there. Lynch goes again. Applies the tackle on Spalding. At the base of all of that, Melbourne try to work it forward. Beveridge an opportunity. Back comes Keogh. Got to his feet and fell over again. Gale tries to knock it out. In goes Wind off the ground. Brings it back towards centre wing.
And we've got some more open space out there. Healy tries to get gets cannoned into by Edwards, and that must be a free kick. And Greg Healy looking anything but well. And Mike Tyson couldn't do that to Frank Bruno in such a short space of time.
And Healy's head coming in collision with Edwards' thigh. Purely accidental.
One of the most courageous players on a football field too, Greg Healy. He's copped his share of knocks in his short VFL career.
That was a nasty one.
I think the answer to that question posed by one of the umpires, Peter Carey or Ian Bedford, was in the negative at the moment.
I think he's all right.
I dare say he'd come off though. Don anyway. Dean Sharon warming up.
Pretty tough little player, Greg.
Well, he's okay. Free kick is taken for Melbourne. That's a play on call. McGrath has to get rid of it quickly. No, he's taking the kick. McGrath inside defensive 50. Good smother. That was on Stevens. He can affect the hand pass now, and Fitzroy get out of the danger zone. Up towards centre wing. Another whistle on play.
Against Richard Osborne again, interfering with Stephen Newport.
He's going to bring him back. Well, Osborne, I don't think, did too much wrong there. He's been penalised 50 metres anyway. Doesn't matter what I think.
I don't know.
He just stood the mark, Dennis, as I saw it. So Melbourne's got a chance to score a goal there first through Steve Newport. He'll be kicking inside 50, about 45 out. Brings it round nicely. It's Melbourne's first goal.
The Lions lead by 7 points. Free kick to McGrath, who's doing well. He's quite agile, normally a key forward, so he can get kicks around the ground as a ruckman. He sends play towards centre half forward. Lyon in from the side, drops the mark. Grinter knocked on cleverly by Hughes. This is Lovett out wide. Jay Viney's got it now, running across half back, pulls it back towards the middle. Again, all Fitzroy. McGrath lays it off nicely. Osborne's got it now, running through the middle. Osborne took it from Brockhurst, and is felled having kicked it. It will be a relayed free kick to be taken by Paul Roos about 15 metres out from goal.
Well, that was a stupid free kick. Rodney Grinter, the aggressor, and you cannot afford to do that. It's all right to do what Rodney Grinter did there on your forward line, but up on your back line, stupid.
Another one.
Here's Roos. Lyon is coming off. Roos, meantime, hits the post. 2-3 to 1-1.
7-15. Dixie Marshall has some news on Greg Healy for us.
Pete, Greg came up with blood streaming from his nose. The doctor isn't quite sure whether it's broken or not, but Greg is looking fine and saying he wants to go back on the field.
Oh, tremendous mark taken by Stephen Stretch. Yes, we never doubt the courage of Greg Healy. As I said before, let's hope he's okay. Melbourne can never afford more injuries. Lynch, a high flyer, and the Tasmanian takes the mark, gets the play on call from the umpire. Richard Osborne, the recipient of the hand pass, goes long. He'll be looking for Roos. 2-on-1 in favour of Melbourne. It was touched. It'll be a behind. So Fitzroy advanced their score by that margin, 16-7. Danny Hughes.
Both sides have made a few changes. Ross Lyon has gone off the ground, and also Jay Viney being replaced by Peter Rowe for Melbourne.
Johnson had to do some balking. Gets clear of Conlon. Was he felled after he kicked it? No whistle, so the umpire thinking in the negative. Chance for Fitzroy through Broderick. His kick into the 10-metre square. Johnson. The banana kick. A high tackle. The advantage rule played. Actually, it was downfield, and so the free kick going to Stephen Newport. And the Demons go forward now through the agency of Eichhold. It's the left half forward flank. Ball falling loose. Broderick in there. Eichhold again. Got tackled too high. Attempting the hand pass. Gale goes in. Gets buffeted sideways. Sharon likewise in there for Melbourne. Picked up beautifully by Spalding. Onto the left foot. The snapshot off target. And it'll be out of bounds in front of Stevens. Will it? No. Well snared by Stevens. Attempting to give it to Graham Osborne. Not a good hand pass. And that was a pity because Osborne was in the open. A trip. Stretch gets the free kick and the advantage rule. Shoots. And a goal.
It's the second quarter final in the Panasonic Cup. Fitzroy got the first 2 goals. Melbourne have got the last 2. There's the bounce. Stynes comes at it hard. There's the time remaining. Bailey into the path of Newport. Left the ball. Lynch gets it across to Armstrong. A high kick back through the middle. Keane was up. Grinter behind, leads back in the race. Tackled by Keane. Down he goes. Lovett comes away, swings it out wide. Eichel the mark on the outer side, draws a man, goes over the top, stretches playing well. He's a runner and he's away. Down towards right half forward, long kick, Spalding from behind, knocks it away from Lynch, has the better recovery, lays it off to Bennett. Bennett goes goalward and kicks his second behind.
Just thinking about Edwards, he's now fixed up 2 VFL captains, Dennis. Dale Waitman and Greg Healy.
Not a bad record. When you say fixed up, run into.
Run into. Whichever the terminology is applicable, I think most people watching would know what I mean. So, happy a few scores to settle later on. Darren Kapler takes the mark in front of Bailey. Defensive 50, short kick out towards the wing position. Well, no man's territory there. That could have been a free kick to Lovett.
Very well done, Brett Lovett.
Left centre wing for Melbourne. Oh, some high flyers there on the rebounders. Gale redirecting play. Turner went for the fist away. Now it rebounds out to Johnson off the hands of White. Steins, plenty of Melbourne players there. Sharon with the suntan lotion on. Obviously doesn't intend getting sunburnt. He started on the bench, he wouldn't have got sunburnt there. Road. It's a scramble. Nondescript football. And the umpire's found a free kick. It's going Melbourne's way and will be taken by Glenn Lovett. Still inside the square.
50 metres.
50-metre penalty for running over the mark. So obviously the Fitzroy players, as Dennis would say, not centimetre perfect in that regard.
Overzealous. No excuse for that, really. A lot of that last night, especially from the Eagles.
It was good to see the umpires a little more stringent on it. They became very, very lax towards the end of last season on that 50-metre penalty.
Chance to put Melbourne in front. The Demons trail at the moment 14-16. They don't trail anymore. They're 4 points in front.
Melbourne lead for the first time in the match. Just over 3.5 minutes remaining in the term. Steins fell at their feet. Armstrong going nowhere. Steins gets a second opportunity wide of the pack, taken by Brockhurst. Back towards Osborne. He goes to ground under a tackle. His brother coming through, upended. Oh, gee. Richard Osborne's been penalised for going over the shoulder. The Melbourne player, that wasn't his intention. He was trying to soccer the ball. Still, Grinter showed courage to go from the opposite direction, and he's got it. The clash of the blondes. Grinter goes long towards half forward. Spalding, almost the mark, through his fingertips. Pekin tries to knock it out. It's taken by Gale. He emerges with the ball. Blakey up from half back. Almost sold a teammate into trouble. The kick comes from Armstrong towards half forward. Knocked away by White. Blakey again, run down by Eichel. Jarred free. Newport the hand pass to White. Melbourne bring it away. Into open space on the outer side now. Keogh like a base runner going into second. Still he goes, Keogh. Great skills. Spins out of trouble. Scotty can pick him. Low trajectory kick into the forward line. Great finish. Bennett takes the mark. Classy customer.
It's not bad for a young kid just from the bush last year, Rod Keogh. Castlemaine. Darren Bennett, the man they're pinning a lot of hopes on down at Melbourne. A big forward and something they've lacked at Melbourne.
If he's fit, he'll be a good player. Bennett. Has he got the accuracy this time? It swings right to left. It's close. It's good.
He's a good shape, Bennett. And it's always amazed me why the West Coast did not persevere. I realise he's had injuries over his season, over the years, the last 2 years. But a man at 6'3", 6'4", built like Bennett, who can run, move and play football, it's simply, you just can't find them.
Especially with the retirement of Ross Glendinning, you think they'd take the punt, wouldn't you?
I watched him in a practice game at Melbourne the other week, and he is a player with a lot of talent.
Darren Bennett's first goal. Melbourne actually have kicked the last 4 after Fitzroy showed better endeavour in the first few minutes of the game. The Demons by 10 points now in the closing stages of the opening term. Whistle on play, and it's going to be a free kick to Fitzroy. Up towards right half forward. This is Edwards.
I think he thought Newport was captain.
1:50 left in the term. Sean White goes with the educated kick towards the boundary line, and it'll be a throw in about 60 metres from Fitzroy's goal. Demon defence has tightened up in the last few minutes. And the forward line looks a lot better. Of course, Melbourne well down on strength. Of course, Steve O'Dwyer still to come back from suspension. Picked up by Lovett. Brett Lovett. We've got 2 Lovetts in the side today. Probably Fitzroy's best player at the moment, Blakey, from right centre wing. Short pass. Sean White got one of the... No, it wasn't. Yes, it was Sean White. On the back of the head. Peter Carey says holding the ball. Lovett doesn't waste any time. Well shepherded by Sharon. And also Rode. Conlon late on the scene. Spalding, the target, knocked away by Lynch, the high flyer. And trying to get clear for Fitzroy. That was Broderick. Spalding. Short pass. Bad bounce for Fitzroy. McGrath spears out a hand pass. And the Lions will be able to get clear. Ball booted up towards centre field. Now Johnson, well up from the back pocket. Disposal, usually good. The target is Keogh. In pursuit is Strooper. It's out of bounds. Short of right half forward flank. So Fitzroy doing well in the first part of the term. Melbourne the second. The bottom line is the Demons lead with less than a minute remaining. McGrath and Spalding. McGrath's done well. Might get a free kick here for in the back.
It's good positioning then by McGrath.
Well, he's got the front position most of the boundary throw-in, hasn't he, Don?
You don't have to be big to get front position, and the player, if you can just hold your ground as he did then, you'll get the free kick because he's not a big player, McGrath.
Matt Rendell, of course, sitting on the bench. Or Grinter had hands on shoulders there, not seen by the umpire. Turner effects a good hand pass. Johnson. Spalding and Lynch. Spalding attempting to paddle the ball forward. Keogh, hand pass. Lynch and Sharon collide. And it's going to be a free kick to Fitzroy to be taken by Lynch.
Actually, it takes me back quite a few years to see Sharon with stuff on his nose. In actual fact, it was his uncle, Gene Sharon. We went down at Percy Serity's camp at Portsea, and he was ostracised unmercifully by Percy Serity for having the same thing on his nose.
There's Steins. I think he's making a statement about the early start to the football season. Brockhurst left it behind. There's the siren. Quarter time then at VFL Park, and Melbourne lead 4-2 to 2-4. It's quarter time at VFL Park, and Melbourne lead by 10 points, 4-2 to 2-4. Checking the goal scorers, all side wing, and Stretch has stayed with him. So the 2 former South Australians will continue their duel on the same side of the ground as we start this second quarter. Melbourne lead by 10 points. Neither ruckman got a hand at that one. Beveridge comes away from the centre, goes down towards half forward. It bounces obligingly for Stevens. Opportunity for Bailey now, pursued by Brockhurst. Runs away from goal. This is Spalding, outside 50, Earl Spalding. A high kick. Where's Bennett? Nowhere to be seen. In from the side, Keogh. Knocked away down there by Strooper. Close to the boundary line, Gale. Did he keep it in? According to the boundary umpire, he did not. And we'll have a boundary throw in.
It was a real line ball, literally, that one. Some stretch work on the boundary line for the interchange bench at Melbourne. Only 3 left, really, because Greg Healy, I would not imagine, would take any further part in the game. Yes, I must agree with that call. Right in his back.
Interesting too, Pete, just jumping in there. That's the value of Darren Bennett on the forward line. He can do some ruck work, and they were exposed last year with no one to do that up forward. Spalding was taken away from a key position so often, and really he's not that good as a ruckman.
Well, I guess that's all counteracted by the fact that David Williams is sidelined for the season.
Yeah.
Because his skills in the forward line, although he doesn't have the height of Bennett, he certainly was a very elusive player. Bailey's kick is one behind. Okay, Lee, you've got the left flag. 4-3 to 2-4, 27 to 16 in favour of the Demons after a promising start by Fitzroy. Players misjudging marks this afternoon, flying too early. And we saw a case again there. Stretch, one of Melbourne's best. Outside 50, wobbly kick, could go close to a score. And another behind to the Demons, who after the first 10 minutes of play have been the better side here at VFL Park. In sunny conditions, they lead by 2 goals. In no man's territory, Richard Osborne, first to get there. Flicks away the hand pass. Brockhurst onto Gale. Gale at the left half-back flank for Fitzroy. Runs midfield. In pursuit of Beveridge, but he won't catch him. He's got a good turn of speed. Not a well-directed kick through the fingertips of Mickey Conlon. Love it. Gets Melbourne out of the danger zone. And again, the bounce not favouring Fitzroy. Stretch does well to get it to Road. Road from left centre wing, a spearing pass, looking for Spalding at the half-forward flank. Lynch on his hammer. Well played, Earl Spalding. Gets the hand pass back to Glenn Lovett. The centering kick, sensible play. Stevens there. Did he boot it out of bounds on the full? Methinks yes. So luck not going Fitzroy's way. It's going to be a Melbourne free kick, and it will be taken by Earl Spalding.
Darren Bennett not in front that time as they brought the ball around the ground. Melbourne looked for somebody in the centre, but Bennett caught behind Stevens.
Here's Spalding. Deep in the pocket. They'll contest just outside the square. Oh. Keogh does nicely in a tight situation and then misses. The build-up was good. Clayton coming on. I think it was Broderick coming off. And Osborne to kick it in. Richard Osborne. So he's been everywhere today. Goes towards the outer side, intended for Pekin. And he takes the mark. He's at right half back in the bright sunshine. Pekin swings it out wide. Intelligent kick into the path of Delina. He has it on centre wing. The Lions' #1 draft choice from Sturt. Delina goes towards half forward. Roos is up and he takes the mark. So they've transferred it well, Fitzroy. Roos going for distance. Melbourne have got the numbers back there, as you can see. Steins.
Good courage shown by Steins back into the pack. A number of Melbourne players doing that.
He was paid the mark. Road, awkward bounce, picks it up, lays it off. Hughes aggressively out of defence. It's a rainmaker. Back towards centre wing. Brockhurst gets a fist on it. Hughes following up, pushing towards the boundary line, gets it out of bounds.
So some useful work by Denny Hughes, although the kick didn't help. It was Broderick on the bench. 29-16 is the scoreboard in favour of Melbourne in this quarter-final encounter. We've had a couple of thrillers on Saturday nights here. Hawthorn going down last night. Now it's Johnson taking the hand pass from Sharon.
Oh, yes, well done, umpire.
Yes.
I wondered how long he was going to be before he made up his mind.
Glenn Lovett, who's already kicked 1 goal for Melbourne, and the pass is a beauty too to Bennett, who is showing some pretty good form early in this game.
He's got a turn of speed, Dennis.
Yeah, he's a long kick too, Don.
Oh, prodigious kick.
Doesn't look in his mannerisms unlike Ditchburn. A couple of seasons at Carlton. Beautiful drop punt kick. That's a tremendous kick for goal by Darren Bennett, his second. Darren Bennett's second goal and Melbourne's 5th, and the Demons doing it quite well now. Bennett looks as though he may be able to solve those problems up at full forward if, as we said earlier, he can stay fit. That Stretcher's kick down towards half forward again for Melbourne, attacking in numbers. Loose ball on centre wing, clean bowl Steins. Almost a high tackle, but Clayton gets boot the ball up towards the centre wing. Wind started well, like a lot of his Fitzroy teammates, but has gone out of the play. That surely is a high tackle on Brett Lovett. And Lovett will take the free kick at right centre wing.
Free kick starting to favour Melbourne. They're going in for the ball, and Fitzroy starting to run second. Not a good sign.
Melbourne have kicked the last 5 goals in the game. Down towards half forward. Great mark is taken by Lynch. He can take a grab. I remember last season against North Melbourne. A couple of big marks in that game. On the outer side, Roos battling with Turner. Both fell over. Newport gets it to Road. He's at left half forward, goes down towards the pocket. Bennett's in front down there, close to the boundary line. Grabbed by Stevens, laid it off nicely, taken by Beveridge. Gets it back to Road. Road from 45 metres out, slides it across the goal face. It eludes Keogh. I think he may have touched it. He did, and it will be thrown in down there. Gale wants to take the kick. Keogh prepared. No, it's not Keogh. It's Lovett who is prepared to stand the mark, thinking Keogh hadn't touched it. But we've got a boundary throw in. Bennett was up, falls behind him. Beveridge in trouble, slung out of it. Pekin scrambles a kick forward. Armstrong's got the run of it. Out to Kapler, who's been quiet. He's been beaten by a stretch. Scrambles a kick towards the boundary line. It trickles across in front of Lovett. So the ball will be thrown in midway between right centre wing and right half forward for the Demons, who lead 5-5 to 2-4. Steins and McGrath. McGrath, as always, keen to get to the front, but Steins did best. Eichhold behind. The high kick towards half forward. You hear the call. So did the players. Lynch gets the shepherd from Pekin. Took too long. Well done by Spalding. Great desperation. Clayton, though, gathers the crumbs. Hoists it high. Keane comes over the top. Steins emerges with the ball. Hand passes. Gains some meterage. Clayton upended. He's going to get the free kick.
Started on the bench, Scott Clayton, one of the experienced defenders in the Fitzroy lineup. On paper, I think many people would have selected Fitzroy to win. Melbourne's endeavour has been far superior. This is Turner with the ball. One of the rookies in the red and blue this afternoon, Turner, favouring the boundary.
He's doing well.
He is playing well, isn't he, Earl Spalding? Seems to be everywhere. Centering kick. Big pack of players. He's paid a mark to Fitzroy. It'll be taken by Brockhurst.
Certainly worked on the upper body, Andrew Brockhurst, over summer.
Yes, he could have been confused for a pull-through last year. Looks a lot more solid in 1989. That's Keogh on the bottom of the pack. Impressed with him, Don. Steins. High ball to half forward. 2-on-1 in favour of Fitzroy. It's a Lions ball. Fitzroy working hard to get it out of defence, and this is Strooper finally winning through. Strooper up the left centre wing. You've got to hold him two hands from the skipper. Rue's a little bit quiet today. This is Simon Eichhold from right half forward. Bennett and Stevens. McGrath. Bailey close to the boundary line. Backspin might keep it in. Stevens gets clear of road, but only just. Bailey again. And some good body work by Brockhurst. Sees him end the ball over the boundary line. The throw in between half forward and centre wing.
Fact of life these days, Don. Players try and make something happen. It just cried out for a kick then, didn't it, to move it down the ground from Stevens. If it's not on, don't do it. This is Clayton. Out of bounds on the full. So much for that tip. Kick will be taken out there by Johnson.
Thinking caps back.
11:43 remaining. That's how they look off the ground. Into attack come Melbourne once more. Pack into the air. Falls forward. McGrath gets it across to Gale. Gale runs it out. Long kick towards half forward. Roos goes back with great courage. Almost the mark. No justice. Keane to Kapler. Now he can go, Kapler. Long kick down towards a vacant goal square. They're running back. Which way will it bounce? White helps it on its way and forces it behind. And that's the first score in quite a while for the Lions.
He's got immaculate disposal, Kapler. When he gets the ball, if he's under pressure, it still goes in the direction in which he wants it to.
At quarter time, Fitzroy were 2-4. They're now 2-5. Conlon. Road concedes ground but finds Johnson. Johnson back towards the middle, and McGrath takes the mark.
Another well-directed kick. McGrath, one of Fitzroy's better players. Not too many in the last quarter or so. McGrath going wide. Oh, is that a push in the back? Sharon certainly got high, and Rhodes done well in the last 20 minutes or so too. But Johnson will be the leading kick getter on the ground so far. And his disposal usually good. Can't find the teammate on this occasion. Brockhurst on centre wing. Could have been in the back. Newport gets it out to Eichhold. Simon Eichhold from left centre wing for Melbourne. Bennett will be the target. Stevens takes the mark. Gale with socks down. Somebody's lost a boot. Clayton back to Stevens. A bad hand pass. Of course, he gave a bad one to Graham Osborne in the previous quarter, which costed a goal ultimately. Clayton to half forward. 3-on-1 in favour of Melbourne. The Demons through Johnson went out. Back it comes to Lovett. Melbourne running in numbers down the ground, playing with a lot of confidence. Glenn Lovett. Not too much distance with the kick, predictably.
It's a shocking kick, really.
Well, he only had one boot. Pekin gets it over to Brockhurst again. Clear of Bailey. Now it's Fitzroy's turn. McGrath on the end of a hand pass from Armstrong. Sean White doesn't make mistakes like that too often. Edwards grabbed by Newport. Now the whistle has gone. White has his nose in the ground, and we will assume that he'll take the free kick. So Fitzroy having a lot of trouble trying to penetrate this very solid Melbourne defence. They scored the first 2 goals of the game It was early in the opening term. They haven't got one since. Grinter, a little bit short of right centre wing. Now as his target, he's got Tingay down there. Tingay waited for it to come to ground, but the mark taken by Spalding, who is playing a great game.
Tingay has replaced Luke Beveridge.
Love it. Play on Lovey. Don't like that one much. Up goes McGrath. Armstrong. Picked up by Stevens. Well, almost on the half volley. This is Armstrong again. Close to the boundary line. Did he keep it in? I doubt he did, but play goes on. Eichhold comes up to meet it, forces it out of bounds.
It's interesting when you include young fellows in your side. Tingay, Beveridge and Keogh, they add a lot of enthusiasm, a little bit of sparkle, which the older fellows just seems to pass them by as they get older.
Pre-season, Doc.
A battle after the ball from that boundary throw in. Tingay is going to get his first kick. Held without it. Tingay is across field, finds Lovett. Goes by hand a road from 55 metres out. Long kick down towards Bennett. Battle of strength down there. Bennett almost the mark. It falls to Lovett. Touched. Minor score. Good call by the umpire. Precise there. Glenn Lovett from about 15 metres out after it was started by Tingay, who got it across to Brett Lovett.
The umpire really in the right position on that occasion. Right where the action was.
Strooper, short passes in. Wind takes the mark in the back pocket.
The long and the short of it, certainly. Wind still inside defensive 50. Up to half forward. Grinter went the spoil. Ineffective. Lyon couldn't gain control. It'll be a throw in close to centre wing. So Melbourne, a lot of endeavour after a slower start. They've got well on top in this game now, despite the fact that they're well below full strength. Kapler. Fitzroy needs him to fire if they're to get back into this match. Again, a 2-on-1 situation favouring Melbourne. Johnson goes down. Stretch, good use of the body. Clashes with Armstrong. Again, it's a Melbourne ball. This is Eichhold. Eichold's kick up to half forward. Bennett and Stevens having a great duel. Bennett's got a couple of goals though already. Lynch tries to get it to Pekin. Not a good hand pass, but they were under pressure. Glenn Lovett, good hand pass to Bailey into an open goal. And you can put on your glasses on this one. Sharon's first goal. 6 goal kickers to Melbourne. Or 5. Bennett has 2. 42-17. There's the bottom line. Steins. Back it comes to Brockhurst. Brockhurst has kicked over the centre line. Centre square. Lovett. Both the Lovett's getting into the action. And this fellow is playing a crackerjack game. That's Johnson in defence. He's cutting them to ribbons down there. Blakey. Sean White attempting the screamer and nearly brought it off. This is Glenn Lovett. Back to Johnson again. Keogh, he looks impressive on the centre wing. And Melbourne just playing with them at the moment. For Sean White doesn't look too good. Road long hand pass down towards half forward. Ball socket away. Socket clear for Melbourne down there by Bennett. And this is Little Win.
Sounds like an Indian chief. On the outer side, it's taken by Lovett.
You get the witch doctor out there at the moment.
This is Spalding. Bennett battling with Stevens. Osborne thought he was pushed in the back. Graham Osborne, no free kick. Emerging with the ball is Road. Well played. Down towards full forward. It may bounce through for a goal. It has. Well, they can do no wrong.
You summed it up, Dennis. They can do no wrong. Bennett, Road on that occasion just went in, spun out and seemed to come out by himself and then just went onto the left foot. It wasn't a deliberate kick. He just slapped it on his foot and through it goes for another goal. There's 7th. Sean White on screen limping. I think Sean should have gone for the punch instead of going for the big fly trying to mark on that occasion. Might have saved himself the injury that he has now got had he have gone for that punch. But Melbourne doing very well. 48 playing 17.
Just under 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Bear in mind, Fitzroy got those first 2 goals, as we've said several times. McGrath, who's battled hard. Really, they're breaking down hopelessly at centre half forward at the present time. Maybe McGrath will start the second half in that position because he's in pretty good touch, and we could see Rendell come onto the ball. Still, that's in the future. They need some late goals here. One by Steins. All the time in the world. Keogh measures the hand pass. This is Grinter. Winter goes down towards half forward. Clever kick. Lovett goes back to the ball. Takes the mark. He's away. Dragged down. Good tackle applied by Brockhurst. Coming away is Gale. Gale goes out wide with the kick, and the mark is taken by Lyon. Inside, Osborne. Graham Osborne goes with the left foot towards half forward. Out comes Ruse. Didn't take the mark. Off the ground by White. Out of bounds on the full. And it will be a free kick to Paul Ruse in that left full forward pocket. 5:05. The clock running down. 7-6 to 2-5.
Paul Ruse kicked one goal. Hasn't had too many kicks so far. And again, Fitzroy need him to get back into the action. There to get back into the game. He's hooked that one. One behind. So still they haven't got a goal since the early stages of the opening quarter. They had 2 on the board in 5 minutes. Matt Rendell comes on as Fitzroy trails by 5 goals. Well, Rod Austin has to make a few moves. Road, he's been a good player. Umpire has paid him the kick. 6 kicks and 4 hand passes from Peter Road, plus 1 goal. Turner at the back, a spoil. Rendell, his first touch. Former captain, the hand pass is ineffective. Tries to find Edwards, has no success. Not a happy place, the Fitzroy bench at the moment. The Lions trailing by 5. Steins could have pushed Rendell in the back. In fact, he has been paid the free kick with the advantage rule. Again, Melbourne outnumbering Fitzroy. Conlon gets the upper hand. He's got to beat 2 of them. Who's he got? No one that he can see. Edwards, a high kick. And Demon defenders get it over the boundary line. Or has Conlon kept it in play? I think not. It'll be a boundary throw in. Left forward pocket for Fitzroy with under 4 minutes remaining in the first half. It's only 20 metres from the behind post. Rendell with Steins. Rendell getting the front position. Long hand pass. On the end of it is Richard Osborne. Tries to hook it back across his body. He succeeds in doing that, but only getting 1 point for his efforts. So the Lions still goalless in this quarter. Only 2 on the board to date, and they've been kicked by Ruse and Richard Osborne. 48-19 is the scoreboard in the Panasonic Cup quarter-final. Fitzroy beating Richmond in the opening round. Melbourne successful against the Sydney Swans after they got a great start. They had to come from behind here. It's picked up by Armstrong. Off the hands of the pack. Can Conlon soccer it through? He can't. And another behind to Fitzroy. And the Panasonic scoreboard still showing them on 2 goals. 2-8 to 7-6. 28 points the difference.
Well, they're very disappointing at the present time, the Lions.
Little system there, Dennis. There's a wrestle.
That's something they're winning.
I think I'd make a change if I was Fitzroy. I'd get Lynch from centre half back. He's being beaten by Spalding. Put Ruse to the centre half back position, and Lynch, who is a high flyer and played on the forward line, down at full forward.
There's Hughes, members side with a kick. Edwards, good mark. Plays on quickly. Kapler goes with the right foot down towards full forward. Hasn't got the carry. It's swinging back. It's a goal. Just over 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half then. Melbourne still with a very handy lead. Rendell wins it down. Delina's got the run of it. Left it behind though. Kia gets it across to Road. Road goes out wide with a kick. Lovett, and he's away. Glenn Lovett running down towards half forward. A high floating kick. Off the hands, taken by Wind. Out towards the boundary. Awkward bounce. Clayton, the last man to arrive, gets the ball. Little chip pass, hugging the boundary. Delina marks it on centre wing.
Carl Delina on centre wing, a chance to put Fitzroy into attack with 2.25 minutes remaining in the quarter. And therefore the half. Strooper, the high flyer from the back, but it's going to be a Melbourne free kick. The recipient is Jimmy Steins. It was well shepherded by Keogh. Mark on the centre wing.
Fitzroy made a change. Strooper now playing at full forward.
They can make a few more. This is Sharon. The block out on his nose. He's kicked a goal too so far. Won't get one with that kick though. It's out of bounds. Adjacent to the small scoreboard. 48-26. It shows Gale to take the free kick for the Fitzroy side. Chips it in short. Blakey at right half back flank. summery conditions down there for the players today. Roos has the mark, but it might be a free kick to Melbourne. To Steins. Steins at left centre wing.
Bailey going off for Melbourne and coming on for his first run, a young fellow, John Ahern.
Two Melbourne players fly. Comes down to Eishold. Bennett and Stevens. Fist away by the latter. Good use of the body. Now Bennett, a chance for goal number 3. Hooks it across his body. Has he hooked it too far? Looks good though. It's a goal. Darren Bennett giving Melbourne a focal point up forward, 54-26. He's got 3 goals so far, and that was a beauty. Melbourne kick. Jimmy Steins has the ball.
Played well.
Especially in this quarter. And again, the whole Melbourne side has lifted its game. Bennett in front again. And it's a real Tiggy Touchwood one, but nonetheless a correct decision. Stevens was hanging on.
I will go down on record as saying he'll kick this.
Distance won't be a problem.
20 cents is on the table, Don. Coffee at half-time will suffice.
Got the distance, though.
Got the distance.
What's the bet?
Problem.
55-26.
There's the kick in. Almost half-time. The last action of the first half. Stretch fisting high in the air. Knocked on by Osborne. Taken by Keogh. So half-time at VFL Park in the second quarter-final. The winner to go through and play the West Coast Eagles. We find that Melbourne are in a very handy position. 8-7-55 to Fitzroy 3-8-26.
Well, 4 goals, 3 kicked by Melbourne in that quarter to Fitzroy's 1 goal, 4. Fitzroy in the opening term really looked as though they were going to take Melbourne apart, but unfortunately for them, they ran out of puff, it would appear, very, very quickly. And Melbourne, since about the 10-minute mark of the first quarter, has really been well on top. Roos has been out of the game largely. Rod Austin will need to make a few moves to bring those better Fitzroy players into the action. Certainly Roos in particular, if he can lead by example, then Fitzroy will have a better chance of getting back into this match.
Half-time then, repeating that scoreline. Melbourne 8-7-55. Fitzroy 3-8-26. It's half-time at VFL Park. Melbourne led by 10 points at quarter time. It's out to 29 points now. Just checking their goal scorers. Glenn Lovett has a single, as do Stretch, Sharon, Newport, Road, and of course the star has been Darren Bennett. We've sung his praises. He's kicked 3 to half-time. For Fitzroy, they've been few and far between. Singles all to Roos, Cap.
Good to see him have the 2 tackles.
Start of the second half. If you missed the news earlier, Mike Tyson is still the heavyweight champion of the world. Back at the footy, Steins wins it down. Osborne scrambles it out of the centre. Broderick knocks it on. Kapler's over the ball now. Can Fitzroy improve? Long kick into the forward line. Roos is in front. Hughes does well. Roos and Hughes battle after the ball. Roos left standing. Tackled by Johnson. Good tackle too. Denied him clear passage at the goal. Wins applause from Hughes. The ball spills out of bounds and will be thrown in the right full forward pocket. It's a warm day. Ideal day certainly for watching footy. Steins and Rendell.
A little bit of confusion at the moment between them.
Yeah.
Both umpires conferring. Field umpire, goal umpire.
The attendance today 6,695. Rendell wins it down. Edwards in trouble. Back to Rendell. Hooks it across his body. They'll contest in the square. Roos at the second attempt. Great mark.
That was a great mark because he's under extreme duress. What a terrific contest between Hughes and Roos. And Roos coming out on top on that occasion. Again, that front position. Hit it with the one hand and then brought it to ground.
Gets his second goal.
So Paul Roos, the leading goal kicker for Fitzroy, 4-8 to 8-7, 32 to 55. So a difference of 23 points. The Lions certainly not out of it. Remember that Footscray came back from a deficit of 21 points at three-quarter time to win their game by a point against Collingwood. Armstrong tripped up. No one can get it out. Osborne trying valiantly. Finally, someone does get a hoof to it. And a nice clean mark was taken by Broderick. He spent a little bit of time in the second quarter on the bench. Armstrong. Stretch will just about get him. Delina has to beat 2 of them. Johnson in front. Now a chance once again for Broderick. Had a nice deliberate shot. He might have got that one. That looks pretty good. It's a goal. And just the start that they needed done in the 3rd quarter.
I'm just going to remark, Peter, and we've said it before and we'll continue to say it, football's a funny game. Fitzroy, they're back in this game with those 2 quick goals, and it's amazing how, especially in this Panasonic series, how the game can change. Broderick onto that left foot, and Sean White, a valiant attempt, but just could not touch it as the ball went over the line.
So 2 goals, the 2 number 17s, Broderick and Brett Lovett, keeping a close eye on each other, and that's just how Fitzroy needed to start this 2nd term. There's Broderick again, tries to get possession. Edwards has possession, but was he ridden into the ground?
2 costly mistakes by Brett Lovett in the last couple of minutes.
Edwards with the free, been fairly quiet today. Up to half forward, 3 Melbourne players are there. It's left to Johnson, coming out for kick number 11. Good tackle, Gale. Is that holding the ball? Yes, it is.
He hand passed it, actually.
Great tackle by Gale, justly rewarded. Distance with the kick, leading out Ruse, mark number 2 in this quarter. Can he make it goal number 2?
And Melbourne getting a little bit rattled. Brett Lovett out there remonstrating with Matthew Armstrong. Maybe a little bit of frustration in the Melbourne camp.
Paul Ruse has kicked 2 goals so far, 45 metres out, and he's hooked that, it would appear. 1 behind. Kicked by the Fitzroy captain. Panasonic scoreboard 8-7 to 5-9.
Still going on. Got to get another nickname, I think. Kick in members' side. Stretch was up, knocked away by Edwards.
I wouldn't approve.
I'm not sure we do. Slapped out by Rendell towards the boundary line. This is Richard Osborne. That was interesting. He jumped the line, took the ball with him. So we've got a throw in. Melbourne sluggish to start. There's a Hearn waiting to come on. Steins has done well. Wins it again. Grinter, taken by Richard Osborne, pulls it back across his body, going back with courage. Lovett. And Lyon arrived belatedly. Lovett is down. Grinter comes across.
That's just about a booking, isn't it? And the obvious follows.
Yes. Well, clearly Lyon could have stopped. It's just a question of how great the commitment was. It was about
he was
2
committed
strides,
on that occasion.
2 strides late.
You see this on replay. Lyon was coming at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and it's just crucial that Lovett turned at the crucial time, just turned, bang.
So Lovett on all 4s. He's a tough customer, but that would test anybody.
Sure would.
Sharon, meantime, up towards centre wing, kicking towards half forward. Pekin comes over the top. Clayton gets the hand pass away. Graham Osborne into the path of Broderick. Gets around Sharon. Nicely played. He's looking good in this term. Lyon, they come from everywhere. But they couldn't get there in time. Grinter got there first. Lyon across field. Lovett is up and going towards the play, but meantime Delina's been penalised. Hughes has got a free kick, goes across the ground, so it seems Brett Lovett is okay as White slaps it across to Johnson. This should spark the game. Bailey has it on the outer side. Long penetrating kick towards half forward. Was it out of bounds? No. Glenn Lovett takes the mark just inside the field of play.
He's been a good player too, Glenn Lovett, certainly in their best few. Kick is not as well directed as it should have been. It beats Lynch over the boundary line and will be thrown in. He's back on his feet. I dare say we'll be taking a few deep breaths. Brett Lovett certainly was lined up. Lined up. Keogh sees the ball over in front of him, and also Tim Pekin.
If I remember correctly, Lyon was a little unpopular against Richmond too, wasn't he?
You're quite right. Lynch. Keogh spins into trouble and then gets out of it. Wobbly left footer into the goal square. Stevens doesn't bother to even attempt taking a mark. Concedes the behind to Melbourne, which I think is their first score this quarter. 8-8 it is. 8-8 to 5-9. Fitzroy certainly back in this Panasonic Cup game as Clayton takes the mark. back to the translation. And Blakey on the end of a bad pass. Glenn Lovett's kick is out of bounds on the full, so things going a little bit luckily for Fitzroy after a poor piece of football.
Just looking at Alan Johnson down there, he's playing a loose man, a back pocket playing a loose man. He's the type of player you've just got to pick up, and there's not too many back pockets who attack as Alan Johnson's doing.
Stevens loses that one out. Bennett, who tapped it over his shoulder in the first place. Lynch gets a favourable bounce and carries it towards the 50-metre line effectively, and defensively it'll be thrown in.
Fight back in the middle too, alongside the centre circle.
There's a nice old dust-up. And Lovett's in it again. Strange.
With whom, I wonder?
I wonder.
Lyon and Grinter.
Good double. That's Mike Tyson material, those two. I think a pinch Rod Grinter's beer at a pub.
Ross Lyon can look after himself
He can,
as well.
it would appear, Don, yes. It's a bounce, 50 metres out.
Spalding cleverly. This is Wind. Rendell's in front, takes the mark, plays on quickly. Galina through the traffic. Oh, Rendell took one high from Steins. Umpire saw it, doesn't take it any further. And Rendell has the ball on the outer side. The players need to be careful now. It's getting a little silly out there. Rendell on centre wing, goes towards half forward. White in best position to mark, but no contest. Gale drifting in from the side, takes the mark. Clayton, the clever kick around the corner. Edwards has taken this mark about 25-30 metres out. Too slow. Tackle from behind by Ahern, and Ahern will get the free kick and is legged.
50?
Almost. So Ahern in the back pocket doesn't get the 50, but takes his kick towards the outer side wing. Over the top, Lynch. He's a spring heel jack. This is Armstrong. Across his body, Kapler, and Fitzroy now looking far more impressive. Darren Kapler, left half forward, leaders on from Roos. Intelligent kick. Roos comes up. Lovett filled the hole, knocks it away. Osborne tries to soccer Hughes with courage, knocks it across to Stretch. He's surrounded, going through strongly Graham Osborne. In goes Richard Osborne. He's battling after the ball in there, dragged out of it. 3 Melbourne players battling with him, and there'll be a ball up.
Ball up will take place inside 50. Fitzroy looking more meaningful in their attack to goal. Rod Austin would have barked a few instructions at half-time. There's to suggest. Road got the ride. Brockhurst. And the fumble didn't help, but Gale makes amends after it could have been taken, should have been taken by Pekin. Back it goes to Brockhurst. He gets around Glenn Lovett effectively. Short pass up the half forward. Late on the scene was Grinter, but does it well. And so to Melbourne through Road. He's been a good player. Up the centre wing. Sharon.
Oh,
Glenn Lovett ridden into the ground, or was it an effective tackle? Sharon. Melbourne with the advantage rule. Up the half forward. Bailey. That's what certainly should have taken it. Makes amends with an effective kick off the ground. Bennett into space. Demons forward line working manfully at the moment. Hooked away by Spalding. 2 players are there. Just a little bit long down there for Bennett, and picked up by Rendell for Troy. Clear for Gale. Johnson. Good defence. Out of bounds. And Alan Johnson, it would seem, bobbing up everywhere. That doesn't look too good. Brett Stevens, who's had the job so far of minding Darren Bennett. Bennett's kicked 3 goals, but it's been a good contest. Rendell with Steins. Rendell in front, Steins over the back, looks for Tingay. Runs into trouble, but gets it over to Johnson. Beautiful hand pass by the veteran. Johnson's hand pass as good as a kick, but Brockhurst is there for Fitzroy. A mark, free kick, whatever. Fitzroy players remonstrating that it was a hip and shoulder. Steins will get up and take the kick.
and Jimmy's putting a bit of an act on there. He'll get up and he'll play on. Just winded. Again, Brockhurst committed. Watch this on replay. Or was it Gale?
Jimmy's okay, as you said. Probably kicking a country mile. 9 kicks, 2 marks for Jimmy Steins, 5 handballs, so 14 possessions. He's been a good player. Had a good second quarter. Steins within kicking. He paid the marks, he's the umpire, not the free kick. So he can't hand pass if he wants to. having a shot off the hands of Matt Rendell, plus probably a few others, one behind. The Demon total, and the Panasonic scoreboard showing 8-9 to 5-9, 18 points the difference.
Interesting game now. Stevens to kick it in, goes short. Ruse taking a turn on the ball perhaps. Over the top, Broderick. He's been lively in this quarter, wants his left side. Ruse again. They're in trouble. Rode, he's been valuable. Tingay inside 50. Oh, the Lions have penalised themselves there. Melbourne led by 29 points at half-time. It's out to 24 again now after Fitzroy closed the gap. Steins does well. There's the time remaining. Ruse has gone to centre-half back. He boots it towards half-forward. Johnson does well. Armstrong robs them of the ball, though. It comes to Broderick again. He goes out wide, intended for Clayton. Love it. Kapler from outside 50. Darren Kapler, a wayward kick. Bounces obligingly for Hughes. Deep in the back pocket then. He sends play back around the outer side wing. Knocked away by Rendell. Graham Osborne, too long almost. Armstrong, bit lucky there, Fitzroy. Broderick to Ruse, inside 50. Paul Ruse, what can he do? Hoisted high. Lyon goes back. Gale in from the side. The pair of them spoiled each other. The ball goes out of bounds and will be thrown in the pocket.
About 25 metres around. In fact, it's a little bit less than that, about 20. 9-9 to 5-9. Steins to do the ruck work for Melbourne. Edwards for Fitzroy. Lyon can't get an effective kick at the ball. Or Grinter claiming he was felled, as in fact was Jimmy Steins, it would appear. I don't think you could have hit Rod Grinter with a hammer in each hand. And take the free kick just up from the back pocket. And he's transferred play to the member stand side. And Melbourne full of running through Alan Johnson. Johnson being given plenty of space today, and he's certainly taken advantage of it. He's played a tremendous game. He's picked up 12 kicks so far and 6 hand passes. Countenance of Leon Harris on the boundary line. Knocked away by Glenn Lovett. Tingay beautifully picked up, showing a little bit of class, the youngster from the Goulburn Valley. Bennett, he's got certainly plenty of that. Couldn't take the mark. Spalding's played a good game and an effective hand pass to Stretch. If he can gain control, he can. 30 metres out, the shot at goal might be off target. One behind. Deserving of a goal, certainly. The Demons out to a lead of 25 points in the third quarter, which has 9.5 minutes left to go. Brett Stevens to bring the ball back. Maybe the youngest fan here today. There are plenty of them. Is that a mark? Through Broderick. No, says the umpire. Sharon. Broderick ultimately gets it to Stevens. And that is a shocking mistake. Certainly he was under pressure. Eichel will take the free kick for Melbourne for out of bounds on the free. Going for distance. And big Matt Rendell. The long arms go up to drag down a very safe mark. Chips it in short. Finds Graham Osborne. Fitzroy into the open spaces down the centre.
Osborne from half back through the middle. Clayton got hands to it, couldn't hang on. This is Armstrong. Haven't seen a lot of him today. Breaks away with dash. A high kick. It falls in short though, and Hughes read it best. Leads up the ground and takes the mark on his chest. Hughes was dropping back that time. Love it. Grinter. Is it right half back, Grinter? Not a good kick. Wobbles one through centre. Broderick, a little tentative. That's better. Wins it on the ground. Draws a man. Goes over the top. Osborne at close quarters to Lyon. Haven't seen much of him today. High kick towards centre half forward. White comes up uncontested. Takes the mark. Plays on quickly. Into the path of Newport out towards centre wing. Newport met very solidly there by the man coming up the ground, Blakey. Down he went, and there was some indecision from number 6 there, Glenn Lovett, as to what to do. I think after the game, Newport will tell him what he should have done. He didn't quite know what to do as he was running down with his man that time. Watch this again.
This is the thing you just don't like as a footballer, when you pick the ball up and you look around and someone's bearing down on you.
Steins. Brockhurst out of the congestion. Edwards off his shins. Bailey towards the boundary line, or was it Newport? It was Newport. Back it comes to Brockhurst. Confronted by Edwards. Keogh carries it across the boundary line with some assistance.
Temper's still a little bit frayed out there, and that's a very crowded bounce.
Edwards off and McGrath coming on.
A lot of the ruck work in the first half of Fitzroy, but Rendell is now doing that. That will be a push in the back, will it not? Bailey to take the free kick, short of left centre wing. Centering kick up to the edge of the square. In front, Spalding couldn't complete the mark. Brockhurst. Now it's Graham Osborne. Some bad hand passing there. Armstrong almost one in the back. Gale tries to break clear. Richard Osborne still can't get it into the clear. Kicked it into the back of Alan Johnson. Gale again scoops it out for Osborne. High hand pass. Clayton doesn't kick many goals. He gets a chance this time and puts it through from behind. Better known as a defender. Under pressure, he indeed kicked it like one. Edwards taking a well-earned drink. 4 goals the difference still. Mark taken by Ahern.
It's a good shape for a player, Ahern, from the under-19s, and still eligible for that team.
Highshold, the flyer from the back. Sharon, the knock on. Graham Osborne traps it on right centre wing. Tries a short pass. Is that inside the boundary line or out on the floor? I think it might be a free kick to Melbourne. It is. It'll be taken by Bailey from left half-back flank. Plenty of distance in the kick. Covers a good 50 metres. Great mark taken. Pardon me.
Spalding took it. Sharon takes your breath away, that sort of mark. Sharon, a long hand pass, chopped off by Stevens. Out he comes. Gets the hand pass across to Brockhurst. Brockhurst to Rendell. Back to Brockhurst. Runs up through the middle. Sends play towards half forward, but it's all Melbourne. White. Quick rebound opportunity now for the Demons. White's away. A couple of bounces. A third carries him to centre wing. Steadies. But the kick isn't a particularly good one. And Kapler takes the mark. Bad disposal at both ends. Here's Roos. Roos goes in short and finds Armstrong. What's going to happen? It's going to be a free kick to Melbourne. High Shepherd there, and Lovett will take it. Lovett, centering kick. Spalding, almost. Crashes to the ground. It spills wide. Still in the field of play. Bennett through his legs. Lovett once more. Wind left before he had it. Blakey out of defence. Wobbles one back towards half-back. Broderick was up. Couldn't take the mark. This is Alan Johnson skirting the pack. Gets it across to support. Taken by Ahern. Unloads for a long kick into the forward line. Bennett's in front down there. Knocked away by Stevens.
Having got my breath, I can tell you that Lynch is in trouble, and he incurred that when he collided with Spalding.
Doesn't look too good either.
On the ground for a little time now.
Ross Lyon coming off for Fitzroy and going on Keane.
Rendell punches it out to where 2 Melbourne players are. That was Jay Viney, I think, kicking into the man. Now it's Brockhurst's turn. It's a free kick to Melbourne. And who's going to take it? Ahern? No, it's Stretch.
Sharon coming off for Melbourne. Beveridge on.
Not Stretch, it's Tingay, who kicked a goal before, which was a good snapshot. Beveridge coming onto the ground. The grandson, I believe, of a former Collingwood player. Played in one of their premiership sides in the late 1920s. One behind. And Edwards due to come back on after a stint on the bench. Rod Austin using the bench certainly much more than he did on the first half. 25 points the difference. Free kick is going which way? To Melbourne. Beveridge is breaking away with the ball, but I don't think he's going to be able to take it. It's going to be taken by Glenn Lovett, who's played a particularly good game. He's hooked that kick and puts it through for only one behind. So 26 points the difference now in favour of the Demons. 66-40. 3¼ minutes left in the third term. Brett Stevens with the ball. Melbourne led by 29 points at half-time after their advantage at the first change was 10. And Stevens again favouring the member stand side. In front is Rendell. It's knocked down by Steins. Beveridge The hand pass is to Newport. He was under plenty of pressure. Rendell looking for someone to give it to. Can't get into the open spaces. And the umpire will bounce it just a few metres in from the boundary line.
And Lynch has gone off. There he is on screen there. He looks as if he is all right, and he was replaced by Edwards. Roos now at centre half back in Lynch's place.
Tingay again. Showing he could be quite a useful asset around the packs for Fitzroy. Stevens has been paid the mark by the umpire. And with that call goes wide where he finds Paul Roos. Maybe he's having a run on the ball or playing in defence at the moment. He's obviously not at full forward. Ball socket in towards centre field. Glenn Lovett again. Edwards. Ball paddled out to Kapler, to Pekin. And turn it goes to Keane from left centre wing. A short pass. There's no one there though for Fitzroy. Hughes, which is where Roos was, and he's kicked it straight to that player. Roos still inside the centre square. Fitzroy skipper goes out wide with the kick. Waiting at the back is Rodney Grinter. And Grinter with the torpedo punt out towards centre wing, and that's a fine mark. Keogh, I think, has taken it. Yes, he has.
Keogh gets it to Stretch right on the boundary line, long down towards the pocket. Goes out of bounds on the foot.
Not intelligent play there by Stretch. He had Tingay on the right and should have handballed across.
Lynch. Stevens. Missed by Kapler. Stretch does well in a tight situation to Road. Back towards the pocket goes the kick. Oh, great mark. Bennett sandwiched between two players.
He called it, Dennis. A great mark. See this on replay.
I think Melbourne fans would be getting a little bit excited now about the prospects.
Look, he used his body. He's got a real football brain, hasn't he? He'll tap the ball on. He'll create as well. Very impressed with Bennett. Actually, he's playing much better than he did for the West Coast.
He kicks from about 35 metres out and puts it through. About 42 seconds remaining in this term. Melbourne 10-12. Fitzroy 5-10. This is Eichhold. Tracking the ball out towards centre wing. Pulls it back across his body. Brockhurst in the road though. He plays on quickly. Members side with a kick. Ahern did well to get in front. Missed by Edwards. Hand pass comes out from Graham Osborne. It's taken by Clayton. He gets it infield. Keane back to Clayton.
Clayton's kick. Clayton had a shot at goal earlier in this quarter and put it through from behind. Umpire has found a free kick though. It'll go Melbourne's way. It'll be taken for them by Ahern. So that will nullify any attempt they might have had of getting a score by three-quarter time, because the siren is imminent. Melbourne will go in at three-quarter time with a more than handy lead in this Panasonic Cup match. Ball up to centre wing as the siren ends hostilities for the term. Again, a good quarter by Melbourne. 10-12-72, leading Fitzroy 5-10-40 at VFL Park.
Melbourne have led at every change. 10 points, 29 points, and now out to 32 points, despite the best efforts of Fitzroy early in that term.
Kicks, they made a comeback, but they didn't on the scoreboard, and Melbourne still holds sway.
And that's where it counts. Rendell wins it down. As we start this final term, the winner to play the Eagles in the first of two semi-finals. Grinter over the ball, and he's going to get a free kick.
Rodney Grinter, one of the iron men for Melbourne. Grinter's kick to half forward, going straight down the ground. The target was Spalding. Glenn Lovett overruns the ball. He hasn't done that too many times today. He's been a great asset for the Demons. Darren Kapler has had a fairly quiet afternoon. Remember, he was best on ground against Richmond and hasn't quite provided the same drive today. Bailey with the mark on centre wing, over to Stretch from the same position. Beautiful kick by Stretch. To half forward, and the mark is taken by Osborne. Looks for Broderick and finds him. Broderick on right centre wing. Delena and White. 2-on-1 in favour of Melbourne. Ball tapped into the open spaces. Johnson and Broderick again. Good tackle by Johnson. Chance for Fitzroy, maybe through Delena if he can get clear. Three Melbourne players are there. They could have rattled it. Taken by Danny Hughes. Rendell almost threw it out to Clayton, who started on the bench. And the mark has been taken by McGrath, who had a stint on the bench himself. He did most of the ruck work in the first half of Fitzroy. Rendell came on at half-time to relieve him of those duties. Maybe more suited to a key position than as a ruckman. If Rendell can fire, I'm sure Rod Austin would think that way. Anyway, he's got a chance to bring up a goal here, and Fitzroy certainly need one. He's got the distance. The accuracy is okay.
Margin is 26 points early in this final term. Steins under the ball, gets the kick away regardless. Play on is the call. No, it wasn't play on. Brockhurst plays on now, kicks down towards half forward, wide at the congestion here. A chance for Road, breaks away from half back, runs it out towards centre wing. Road kicks towards half forward, then Spalding's in front. Lynch with the run. Spalding a strong mark. Great mark.
Doing well.
It's across the ground, intended for Bailey. In front, Brockhurst, who's tried very hard in defence. This is Osborne breaking away from half back towards centre wing. White, or rather White, it was right for him. Off hands, taken by Steins. Back to White. Eichhold, awkward half volley, picked it up nicely, spins around, goes with the left foot. They contest inside 50. Stevens left it behind, gets his second opportunity, gets it across to support. This is Blakey, and now it's Wind in the opposite back pocket.
Wind transferring play to centre wing. Keogh a little bit slow to get rid of the ball. The umpire gave him the benefit of the doubt. It's flung out to Tingay, and the Demons go forward again. Eichhold, clean bowled by that one. Clayton, it's the Lions out of the danger zone. Rendell on the end of a hand pass from Gale. Thought about giving it back to him, and instead decides to go long. Two Melbourne players went up. Ahern was there. Ruse. Ball padded into the open spaces for Brett Lovett. His brother's been particularly good today. Steins. Are they brothers, Don, or no relation?
No relation.
Newport. Johnson. Road has to beat two of them and does. Great mark. Peter Road back to Alan Johnson, and they've knocked up getting kicks this afternoon, that pair. Rendell simply too tall for Bennett on that occasion. Bennett just caught out, one of the rare occasions today that he has been. Rendell looks for distance with the kick. It's prop and cop at the moment. Osborne to Keane. He shows us a keen turn of speed down towards full forward. McGrath playing there at the moment. Looks the ball back. It won't quite carry for a score. It's out of bounds, and the throw in and the meter from the behind post. 15.5 minutes left in the final term. Rod Austin looking pensive. The side has produced on a couple of occasions today, but they haven't been consistent. And Melbourne players seem to be at the fall of the ball on every occasion, as White was then. Stretch and Kapler. Stretch has done a particularly good job on him, although Kapler going for his second goal nearly gets it. One behind. Scoreboard on the Panasonic Cup, 10-12 to 6-11. John Northey, despite the fact that his side has been depleted by injury, would be fairly happy.
Hughes in short. This is Keogh. Back to Hughes. Hughes runs out towards half back. Kicks towards the centre of the ground. Blakey in from the side. Brockhurst coming the other way, and Brockhurst it is who takes the money. So Brockhurst alongside the centre circle. Seems to be an improved player. Down towards McGrath, fisted away by Hughes. Lovett. On the outer side, Brockhurst, an unkind bounce. Beveridge swings it across the ground. Lovett is there, knocked away by Pekin. Lovett leads in the race. Glenn Lovett, about 70 metres out from goal. Down towards Bennett through his fingertips. It runs out of bounds, will be thrown in alongside the 50-metre line.
You'd have to say also on today's performance that Glenn Lovett, a much improved player as well, burning on that half-forward flank.
I suppose with hindsight, this rash of injuries that Melbourne has had could stand them in good stead, because they found a few players, it seems. They've been impressive so far in this series. Pekin gives it across to Rendell, who boots it back towards centre field. Melbourne lead in all directions to the ball. Brett Lovett gets it across to Steins. Back it comes to Lovett, left it behind. Steins goes in, nimble for a big man. Great stuff. Long kick, pack into the air down there. Bennett was being held. Pekin wide of the congestion, fumbles. Now he gets a hand pass across to Wynn, but it was an untidy one. Bailey pulls it back. Oh, Bennett, almost a clever mark. Blakey swings it out wide. It's taken by Wind. He's at left half back. Members side. Roos battling against two players. Almost the mark. Still he goes, Paul Roos. Oh, well played. Gives it to Keane. Keane breaks away. Intelligent kick into open space. Coming down McGrath. Feeds it off to Gale. Gale from 30 metres has put it through for a goal.
Michael Gale's first goal to Troy's 7th, 53-72. The Royals need the next two, though. If they're good enough, they can get there. Graham Osborne had it and then lost it just as quickly. Steins boots Melbourne into attack inside 50. A bounce for Stevens. Gets caught by Bennett. Not Stretch, it's Blakey. He's opposite number 18. Taken by Glenn Lovett. It's about his 15th kick. He's played well. Was that too high? No, says the umpire. Blakey again. Good shepherd by Richard Osborne. Blakey running into plenty of trouble. Graham Osborne might help him out. Eichel with a good bump. He's been penalised. The free kick will go to Glenn Lovett for a pretty good tackle. Glenn Lovett from left half forward. It was touched off the boot. Broderick out to Carl DeLina. It's in Pekin, right half back. Chips it in short. Michael Gale, who scored the last goal. He'll get past Glenn Lovett. He's got a pretty good turn of speed, this fellow. Sean White taps it down. Three Melbourne players at there. Beautiful ball skills from White. Newport. Dell just a little bit too late on the scene. Centering kick. The Melbourne defender. Almost a mark to Bennett. Kapler. Tingo over the top. Stretch. Demons doing it with ease, and Eichel takes the mark within scoring distance. Although we remember that Barton kick he had against Hawthorn in the preliminary final of the year before last at the other end, when it came off his boot at 90 degrees and threw straight for a behind. I'm sure he won't forget that either. It's about 45 metres out. It's a better executed delivery. Well, almost.
They let you down, don't they?
Wind has the free kick. Right back pocket. Almost interference against Rendell. Let pass by the umpire. Graham Osborne gets an obliging bounce. Just off the edge of the square, looking for and finding distance with the kick down towards the half-forward line for Fitzroy. Edwards. Oh, bad hand pass. Goes to Brett Lovett. Demons out of defence. Kapler. Gets around Steins on that occasion. Over to Scott Clayton. Puts it back. Oh, beautiful juggle from Roos. Umpire didn't pay it. He recovers well, shoots and has got a goal.
Well, after last night and last Saturday night, don't dismiss Fitzroy yet. Margin 13 points, and they're fighting hard. Steins knocked away by Rendell. Glenn Lovett confronted by Gale. Gale holds sway, swings it out wide. This is Armstrong, who's been quiet. Centering kick. Roos is up. Edwards an opportunity. No one wanted him. Was he held without it? Yes, the umpire thinks he was.
Oh, well, we were obviously in the wrong position. I thought that was a red hot decision of dropping the ball.
So did I, Don.
The umpire was right there. We watched this on the...
Yes,
oh, no, he did drop that.
But
wow.
That's a big free kick, too, in the context of this game. So Edwards, directly in front, will shoot from about 30 metres and can pull it back to just 7 points. What's he done? It's close. It's very close. Behind. So the tension starting to mount here at VFL Park. Fitzroy and the Eagles got up with last gasp efforts. Can Fitzroy. Hughes kicks in. In from the side, Edwards, almost the mark, but it's going to be a free kick. It'll go to Melbourne. A timely one. Stein's getting it.
Evener.
Doesn't present quite the opportunity the last one did. Steins would need a very good kick. Comes along centre wing. Knocked down by Lynch. Taken by Brockhurst. Confronted by Eichhold. High up and under. And the mark will be taken there by courageous Lovett.
Glenn Lovett at midfield. Melbourne can get a goal here. I think it could just about be a seal of Brett Lovett and Richard Osborne. And Glenn Lovett again. Back it goes to Peter Road. Rhodes kick inside the 50-metre line. Broderick out to win. And well shepherded. Tingo went past. No damage done. Armstrong. Looking better for Fitzroy. Promising build-up. End of a hand pass at right centre wing. He's gone long with the kick. Johnson, though, waiting behind, isn't he always? Reads the play beautifully, this fellow. A few bounces over the head of Kapler to his opponent Stretch, who's done a particularly good job on him from start to near finish. It's out of bounds. Right half forward flank. Ron Scott.
A couple of ominous signs as far as Melbourne is concerned. We've wrapped Darren Bennett today, but his fitness not what it should be, because he has been behind and he's walking around with his hands on hips, and they can't afford to do that.
Boundary throw in, right half forward flank for the Demons. Earl Spalding looking for front position, loses out to Rendell. That surely was high on Broderick. Nothing for it, and it will be a bounce out of the shadow. As these games pre-season can certainly test the fitness of most players. Although all clubs put in pretty solid pre-season efforts from around about November. Armstrong getting a few kicks in the late stages of the game. Stretch. And passes to Grinter. Loads with a long one down towards half forward right. It's out of bounds.
Interesting, Don. Melbourne have got 2 spare men in defence, so Fitzroy have got 2 on the ball. And I suppose with 7.5 minutes remaining, they're taking a bit of a risk, letting them run it down like that.
And they're also running very well, Dennis, from their half-back line now, Fitzroy.
Pekin is opposite number 24, Bailey. Eichhold comes out with the ball.
And a couple of injuries there. Spalding's not too good, and Bailey, although he's got the kick, came up a little gingerly.
Bailey from right half forward flank. For distance, his target would be Bennett if he can get it that far. 3 Fitzroy players go the spoil. Crumbs fall to Keogh. Good hand pass. Road. Is this the sealer with the left foot? It's a score, but not a goal. One behind for the Demons. May prove useful in the final analogy. Northey becoming rather animated. And the ball will be booted back in by Brockhurst. 73 to 60, so that point rather vital. 3 scoring shots needed to tie it up.
Andrew Brockhurst goes in short. Blakey goes back with a lot of courage and takes a good mark. A willing worker is Blakey. Whoops. Brockhurst up from full back. Tingay goes in with courage and was hurt. Brockhurst battles back after the ball. It's picked up by Wind. Lynch breaking away now from the hand pass. On centre wing. Fitzroy coming again, but Melbourne have got the numbers down here. Out comes Hughes. Roosdow's got the ball from about 30 metres out. It's a wayward kick. And through it goes for a minor score, just sneaking in. So it's back to 2 goals. There's Tingay.
It's not too good either, the young fellow. He put his hand up as soon as he went down. It looks like an ankle.
Hughes back in. Will we go to extra time again today? It was a thrilling finish last night. This is Steins. 2 straight kicks, and Fitzroy could tie it up. It's out of bounds on centre wing. Just over 6 minutes remaining. And Tingay isn't a bad way.
Most trainers just taking a bit too long trying to get him off the ground. I know the doctors there examining him.
What a stretcher, I think. Well, that's bad luck. Young fella just playing his first senior game. Will be stretchered off. Hopefully it's not too serious, but they're very concerned out there. He seems to be okay within himself anyway. Obviously it's that right leg.
It might be just a precautionary measure, Dennis.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Also coming not at a, you shouldn't say this thing, but coming at a good time, because at least Melbourne now can regain a little bit of composure, bringing out the stretcher and to stop that run of Fitzroy's, or should.
Bailey preparing to come back on as Tingay is lifted onto the stretcher.
See what happened there.
Oh, it was great play by Tingay. He was surrounded then. and his ankle went from underneath, but at least he risked his body for the sake of the side. It's a pity they just couldn't hold the ball down there. Great play by the young fellow.
He may have just twisted it.
He's looked good today.
He has.
Stephen Tingay. So off he comes on a stretcher. And we've got still 6:10 remaining. And the ball is on centre wing. And will be thrown in.
It was a good goal he kicked at the other end.
10-13 to 8-13. Waiting for the throw in.
The Demons having a few problems with pre-season injuries.
Bad run.
Of course, their captain was felled in the first quarter, Greg Healy. Hasn't taken any further part in the game. Dallas Normington was unable to take his place in the side today.
This was Ross Lyon.
Gary Lyon.
Gary Lyon.
So Tingay's off. 5 kicks, 4 hand passes. And a goal. And the ball will be thrown in now. So play about to restart. Let's see what that break does in terms of the concentration of both sides.
Looked like his knee there, Dennis, the towel on his knee.
Gee, that's a terrible injury, isn't it? The knee in football, any sport.
Injuries, isn't it?
Yep. So, the boundary umpire. Safety first. He's waiting for them now, I think, to get off the ground altogether.
David Williams will have to go a complete knee reconstruction. He was injured at training during the week, as we mentioned earlier, so 2 knee injuries in the week would be just a little bit too much, even for pre-season. It's too much to contemplate, isn't it?
So we've got the throw in. Rendell and Stynes. Rendell works his way to the front. Stynes reaching over the top. It falls to Armstrong. Picked up by Kapler. Gets it to Clayton. Clayton goes down towards half forward with a kick. Roos is up in front. Couldn't hang on. Gathered by Bailey. Back comes Roos. He's playing his heart out on the forward line. It was knocked down brilliantly by White. Opportunity for Grinter. Shovels the hand pass out. This is Ahern. Well shepherded by Bailey. Ahern drives back towards centre wing.
Target was Spalding, and he doesn't let him down. Took a ripper mark in the third quarter, Earl Spalding.
Oh, he's behind again.
Plenty of distance with that kick. And referring, of course, to Bennett, and the mark is taken by Blakey. Here's Bennett looking a little bit in need of a couple of petrol tickets at the moment. Chain of hand passes finishes up with Tim Pekin. Pekin goes short. Edwards back to Broderick. Nice sidestep around White. And who's he got down there? But McGrath. And let's see if McGrath can get the distance with this kick. If he does, it'll make it interesting with just over 5 minutes remaining in the game. So Fitzroy certainly have got the time, if in fact they're good enough.
McGrath has already kicked one from about approximately the same position earlier in this quarter.
It's about 35 to 40 metres out. The goal umpire hasn't moved. That looks good for Fitzroy. It's a goal. So Fitzroy have kicked 4 goals, 3 to 1 point in this quarter, and they're now trailed by only 1 goal. We've got 4 minutes 38 remaining in the game. Another thriller. We've had some tremendous clashes out here in the past few days. Delina looks for Richard Osborne. The hand pass over his head though. Newport in hot pursuit. Osborne has got speed. Can he maintain skill running at that pace? Beautifully done, Richard Osborne, but he did go right out to the flank the long way home. 2-on-1. Sean White will go the palm down. He's got it onto Danny Hughes, who tried to go for the boundary line. 2 Fitzroy players form the wall, and the end result will be a bounce deep in Fitzroy's scoring zone. It's at right forward pocket.
He'd be enjoying this. A courageous effort by his Lions. Over the top, Hughes thumps it out of bounds and will be thrown in. 10-13 to 9-13.
Well, there is a lesson there, isn't there, for all teams playing in the last 3 games that I've seen out here. Teams have got up from behind. Carlton were nearly toppled by North. Fitzroy got over Collingwood, and the West Coast over the Hawthorn last night.
This is Bailey close to the boundary line. Keeps it in play. Stynes doesn't.
Interesting, John and Dennis, that Melbourne against the Sydney Swans got off to a tremendous start, and the Swans fought back well against them and could have stolen the game as well.
There's the boundary throw in. Stynes, Rendell, Armstrong, taken by Edwards to Roos on the burst. Roos from 35 metres out has missed. So the margin is 5 points. Just over 3 minutes remaining.
Well, that was very, very close.
Inaccurate kicking by Paul Roos. 3 goals, 5.
So one straight kick away from victory. Fitzroy find themselves in. Out wide. Will it be touched? Was it touched? Have to wait on the umpire. It wasn't. Steins remonstrating with the boundary. Not successfully. Steins being brought right back on the mark. Matt Rendell, former captain, won't be able to score from there. Well, Johnson tried to block his opponent, not successfully, and the mark has been taken by McGrath. Now, will he be the hero, Don?
Well, he's kicked truly. He's had 2 shots for goal, and he's kicked 2 goals. And he's having a real purple patch in the last quarter. And he has been leading Danny Hughes to the ball since going to full forward. Craig McGrath, 9 kicks, 5 marks.
Can he put Fitzroy in front for the first time since the opening quarter? No, I would suggest with that kick. And behind. I think supporters breathe a little bit easier, but there's still 2 minutes to go. Can the Demons hang on? They haven't goaled in this quarter. 10-13 to 9-50. 73 to 69. It's another thriller. The winner into the semi-final. Gale is the flyer. Comes down with the ball. And gets tripped up. Correct decision, it would seem. Centering kick. That's a strong mark taken by Broderick, and he's within kicking distance.
Well, it's hard to envisage a scenario now that we can get a tie with time up and go to extra time because the margin is out to 2 points. But Broderick, a chance to put Fitzroy in front by 4 points. He's taking plenty of time. It's down to 1:18 now, the clock. If he kicks a goal, he'll stop the clock. But Melbourne have stopped to a walk. So Broderick, it should be a question of accuracy. Firing from about 45 metres out. It's swinging right to left. It's close. It's a behind. Right-handed goal umpires. Don't they kill you?
Haven't we had a fantastic National Panasonic Cup series or Panasonic Cup? It's been fantastic these last few games.
3 points the margin there. And it comes to Grinter. He's in the back pocket, Rod Grinter. There's the time remaining. And the Demons weather the storm. It's an experienced defence. Road takes the short pass.
Should switch direction.
Down to 40 seconds now. Road hugging the boundary. It's swinging wide towards the boundary. Gale lunging at it. The ball spills from his body out of bounds. That was absolutely perfect, the kick. Gale can't believe it. The clock is stopped at 27. And we've got the boundary throw in. So Fitzroy have got to win it away cleanly and go straight down the ground. But that's not the way they're going to do it. Steins has got the free.
And that will just about give them the game, because with only 20 seconds remaining, it would be an impossibility for Fitzroy to get back and score.
I thought Rendell was in front on that occasion.
Yeah, must agree. So that last kick at goal proved crucial. Ball hits the deck. It could be a Melbourne free kick. No, says the umpire. Booted away by Newport as the siren goes. The Demons are into the semi-finals.
Well, another thriller. Another thriller won by Melbourne this time.
Only kicked 1 point in the final quarter, so they fell in literally. Fitzroy throwing everything at them.
And there's the Panasonic player of the match, Jim Steins. He wins our award. A lion-hearted effort, if you'll pardon the expression, on the ball for the Demons today. Congratulations to Jim. And what about it? They deserve to win, Don.
Well, they did, Dennis, but to score only 1 point in the last quarter, they've really got to look at themselves. But I realise early in the season, but they'll be happy. They'll be better turned out next time and a little bit fitter.
So Melbourne into the semi-final against the West Coast Eagles, and the winner will play the winner, of course, of the semi-finalists from the other half of the draw. The quarterfinals of that half of the draw commence on Wednesday at this ground when Carlton go against Fitzroy. So repeating the final score here at VFL Park in the second quarterfinal of the Panasonic Cup. It's Melbourne home by 3 points. They led at every change, and finally it was 10-13 to Fitzroy's 9-16. Thanks for joining us.
This has been a 7 Sport presentation for the Australian Television Network.